Hello, my name's Lisa and this is my very first Loomcraft tutorial video, so please bear with me everyone. I'll try and be as clear as I can possibly be. I'm going to teach you guys how to do a really basic Halloween cat figure that I came up with. You will need quite a few black bands, I'd say about 70, 80 just to be safe. Not so many orange, maybe about 10, and just a couple of white bands for the eyes. And obviously I've got my Rainbow Loom board and metal loom hook, and just a couple of spare ones just in case I need to hold anything. Don't very often need to, but just in case. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start. So basically for pretty much all of this figure I use double bands, so just assume I'm going to use double bands unless I say otherwise. So we start off at the top and we do 2 diagonal. I just always push my bands down to the bottom as well, and 2 this way, and try and keep them so they don't like overlap one another. The 2 bands that you put on together, try and keep them straight, if that makes sense. And then we've got 2 here, and excuse me if my hands are getting in the way, 2 on this side. Here in the middle, and then I just want to put a little something that might not make sense now but it will do later. An orange band just on this peg here, and twist it round, whoops, 3 times and push it right down. And the same thing on the other side, twist it round on this peg 3 times and then push it right down to the bottom like that. And they're just going to be his cute little cheeks. In fact, I'm off to a great start already because I didn't show you what the little guy was going to look like when he's finished. This is what we will eventually end up with, and these little bands here are just going to be his little cheeks here. Okay, so we'll leave those, whoops, and we carry on putting our bands again. So I'm going to put 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. So we've got 1, 2, we need just 1 more. Here. And then that's going to be the bottom of his little head, so we can just put 2 bands going this way. Just make sure you keep pushing them down because some of them, especially this one here, is going to have quite a few bands on it, so it's easier to get them on if you keep pushing them down. 2 bands again, we push it right to the bottom, and then we're going to do his neck, which can be a weak point, so I've learned when making and learning how to make these dolls. So we're going to use 3 bands this time, just to make his neck with. So I'm going to just put those on there and then just push them down on this side of it. Okay, and we'll take 2 more. I'm going to do his shoulders here. So 2 bands there. 2 bands here. 3 shoulders. And then it's up to you, as we're working down to do his body, you can mix in with the double bands, for example, an orange and a black to make accents in his fur, I guess. Or you can just have him all black. It's totally up to you. I mean, with my figure, first one I did, I used a couple of black and orange bands and to make these little bits in his body. So to do that, you just get an orange and a black band together. It doesn't matter which one's on the top or which is on the bottom, and you just do it like that. So it's totally up to you whether or not you want to do that or not. Put two more on this side, two here. And then for this next row, because I do like the orange patch in the middle of his tummy, I'm going to put two black bands on either side. Oops, push those down. And then I'm going to get two orange bands and put those here. And on the next pin down, I'll put another two, like that. So that's just going to give him like an orange tummy. And then, oops, move it down a bit, another two black ones here. So we've got 1, 2, 3 rows, and I'll just mix it up again and put an orange and a black one just on this side here. Again, it's totally up to you if you want to add that or not. As I said, it's just little bits of accents in his, in his fur, colouring in his fur. And then we just need to put the ones for the bottom of his body, two this way and two diagonally that way. Now we need to put what's called a capping band on the bottom peg here, because otherwise once you loom the figure there won't be anything to hold this together and it would all just come apart. So we just have to put, oops, a capping band on here. So just twist one round. I tend to do it at least, whoops, try that again, 3 or 4 times, just for good measure. I guess you could do it 4, 2, 3, oh, I'll just leave it 3. But by all means, if you want to do 4, just go ahead and do that. Okay, so that's the main bit of the body finished for now. The next thing that we're going to go and do is add the arms and the tail and the ears. So we'll start off with the ears. So I'm going to get, for this one, we're going to make him a little orange patch in his one ear. So we'll get an orange and a black band together. I'm just going to set this to one side a minute while I show you how to do this. So basically we put them onto the hook and wrap it round the hook twice, 3 times like that, and then get another 2 black bands, put them on the hook, and then you just need to shimmy all these bands across, whoops, over the hook and onto this black band here, like that, and then you can pull it down and hook the other end over, and you've got yourself a little ear there. So we'll just bring this back, and we can, oops, it's the best angle to do it, stretch this over just like that to make his ear on one side, and then we just need to do the same thing again but I'm not going to put any orange in this ear, I'm going to leave it all black. 1, 2 times, 3 times round like that. Just give it a twiddle if it's a bit twisted. And then 2 more bands. And hook them on the end of your hook like that. And then slowly slide. Oops, sorry, getting used to this camera. Just hook them over the hook and onto the 2 bands. Pull it down and then hook this end on, so you've caught the 2 ends together like that. That's his other ear. So then we can thread, oops, tricky, thread these carefully onto this side. So he's now got 2 ears. Okay, the next thing we'll do is his little paws here. So it's, you know, pretty much a similar concept, but because we've not had to do any sort of colouring in here, and also because I thought it was better to use double bands to make his ears thicker, we're just going to use a single band to start with on this. So we're just going to wrap it round 3 times, just like we did with the double ones for his ears, and then we get double bands here, and just like before, it's a bit easier with it only being a single band, we just pull them all onto it like that, and then reclaim the other end. There we are. And then we're going to do it just one more time with another 2 bands for his paws. So we'll pull the bands taut like that, and then we're going to lift these ones through onto it. Have I got those? Yeah, I think so. And then reclaim the end again, and you've got a little paw. So we'll just go and attach this straight on. So where the shoulder is, on these corner pegs are where we're going to put the paws. So I'm just going to slide this one here like that, little paw, and we'll just do the same again for the other one. I'll show you again. 1, 2, 3, 2 bands, just pull them taut, lift the the single band that you've wrapped around onto it, reclaim the end like that, and then we'll get another 2 bands and do the same again. Just like that. Okay, hopefully I explained that reasonably well, so you'll be able to do it. No problems. We'll just turn it around this way. And, oops, tricky. Just get those over. And we've got 2 little paws now. So we've got ears, paws, and now all we need to do is the tail, which is the same process again that we used for the paws, but obviously we just need to thread the bands together for longer to make a longer version of this for his tail. So I'll show you guys again a couple of times, and then I'll fast forward the video until I finish the tail. And if you need to rewind the video or you know, see how I did it again, you can do by all means. So we'll wrap this round 3 times again. We'll use 2 bands. Push them on, reclaim the end of it, and that's the end of our tail. What else I do as well is I mixed up and put a few orange and black bands in just to give him that orange accent again in his tail. So to do that, we're just going to use a black and an orange together, like we did with the ear. Just pull them tight, lift our other bands onto it, and reclaim the end, and that just gives that hint of orange in the tail. And then go back to black again, and keep doing it like this. Okay, so I'm going to fast forward the video now, and I'll slow it down when we get to adding the tail on. Okay, so here's the tail. You know, you can make this as long or as short as you want. I guess the longer it is, the more novelty-ish it looks. But yeah, I think that's just about the right length for me. I'm happy with that, so I'm gonna attach this on. So we're just gonna pop it on this peg here. You could put it on the other side if you like, on this peg, but I'm just going to put it on this one. Okay, so that's the tail on. Now what we need to do is put some crossover bands on. Basically what these do is keep the doll together once you've loomed it, because if we don't, we'd end up with lots of holes in the middle and that wouldn't be very good. So what we're going to do is just get single black bands, and we start off on these here. We're going to go like a triangle, so on the bottom, up over that one, and across there like that, and then on the next one up, across like that, and the next one up, we go across like that. Okay, so you've got these bands that will just join it all together. And then for the head, we need to put one across here like this, but this one we're just going to leave blank for a little while. I'll explain why. We're going to make his little white eyes, and how we're going to do that is get a black band. Sorry, we're going to need a black band, and we're going to need those 2 white ones. We're going to take the white and we're going to twist it 2, 3, about 4 times is pretty okay. Push it to the end and then round again. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So you've got like 2 eyes. And then we're going to get this black band, pull it tight. This is going to be the crossover band that we left out on the head. I'm going to pull this over. Oops. Pull this over here. And the same again with the other one. If you have to lift them all one at a time like I'm doing, or if you can grab them all, go for it. Sometimes you can, sometimes it's a bit more tricky. Okay, just So we've basically got the two eyes on here. They look a bit odd now, but they'll look better once they're on the loom. But I'm not actually going to put them on the loom yet. The reason being because of something that we'll need to do with the cheeks as we're looming up. So I'm just going to set that, whoops, but not like that because it comes off. That was silly. I'll just reattach that. There's my first video blooper. Okay, I'll just quickly get that back on. Okay, I'm just going to leave those to one side and we're going to come back to our kitty and we're going to go down to the bottom and start looming. When we get to this point here, when we loom up to this point, then we will come back to the eyes. So I'll just zoom in a little bit more so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to start with this one right here at the bottom. Remember, we've got this cap band that we put on to hold everything together, the cap band that we put just here. We need to go down through that and we're going to grab the very top two bands that we find. So for me it's these ones here. Lift them up around the cap band, hold the cap band down because sometimes it can fling off, you know, fly off. Excuse my hands. I'm going to loom them over to this side like this. Push them down a bit and then we're going to go down again and grab these other two on the other side and loom them to the right like that. Okay, and then we'll go down this side. And this one will be a bit easier to find because it's this black and orange, these black and orange bands. You just go down underneath all the others, grab those two, orange and black band, pull them up and onto the next pin like that. So they make this teardrop shape. This is what you need to be making sure you get, is like a teardrop effect. And you know what I've just realised, which is really foolish amateur thing, and I apologise, we are missing two bands here. Wonderful start. Okay, an easy way to fix this, I apologise everyone, is to take two bands, we're just going to put them over this one here. I'm just going to lift this up, hold on to it, get those two, whoops, get those two bands, and just grab them and hook them under here like this, and then you can get the other ones back on because we needed two black bands here. So just put the two bands over there like that, and if you lift those top two, those bands that are left on this hook, and just hold on to them, you'll be able to hook the black bands you've just put over down and then lift those back on. I apologise about that and I hope you can do that okay. As I say, this is my first tutorial I've done, so there's always going to be something that goes wrong. Okay, so yes, once you've done that, we're then going to go down, oops, under here and grab those two bands, and they need to come up to this one, just like that. So we've pulled up to that side, and now this one's a bit more tricky because there's quite a lot of bands here. We need to go right down to the bottom and just grab the bottom two bands here. So bear with me, I'll try and make this so you can see alright. It's a bit tricky to grab them. I'm just going to pull those up and out and hook those over like that. So you've got these teardrop shapes, and then we can carry on going up then. So this next middle two are going to be easy to find. They just go up like that, and on this side again go up, oops, knocking the camera, and up like this, and we grab those bottom two and loom up like that, and then these bottom two and loom up there like that, and then we'll go to this side and make sure that these crossover bands, that you go inside those two, that you push that back and go down and grab those bottom two ones, pull them, oops, up like that, and pull these up like that too. Okay, and then we need to bring these two up, the shoulders up on either side, and again there's quite a few bands, so turn it sideways if it helps. And sorry, I just want to make sure I grab the right one. Sorry about this dodgy camera work. Just going to go in and draw those bands, grab the bottom two, pull them up and over to the middle, push them down a bit if they're a bit difficult to get on, and then we do the same on the other side. So this one's a bit easier because I put one of these orange bands on, so it'll be a bit easier to reach. I'm just going to go down underneath all these bands, grab those two. Oh no, hang on, oh I'm wrong, sorry, they're just two black bands, I apologise. We're just grabbing two black bands, the orange and black were the ones before, so dope. Okay, and yes, so just pull those into the middle, and then we've got the three bands for the neck. We've got a lot of bands that we've crossed into the middle here, so again just take your time and feel your way right down till you get those three bands at the bottom, hook onto them, pull them tight so you get that teardrop, and you know that you've got them all, just like that. If I'm at all going into fast or there's a bit you're not sure of, just please just stop the video or rewind it if you need to go over anything again, if I'm going a bit too quick. Okay, now we're going on to the head, so we need to grab the top two bands, which are on this side for me again, so I'm going to grab, whoops, not grab that though, just grab the two bands, pull them tight and over to the one side. Sorry, I'm trying to keep this camera steady. And then the same on the other side, the next two bands down we grab, and have I grabbed more than two? Sorry, I'll just go put those back so I can just check. So I think I've grabbed the wrong ones. Let me just see. Just you two. No, I think I've grabbed the right ones. I think it's just caught. So if that happens, you can sort of wiggle around a bit with the hook to loosen it. That's what I have to do sometimes. Okay, and then we're going to pull the last two up here like this. Okay, so we've just got two more to do before we do these cheeks. So we'll go in on this side, grab these bottom two, pull them up there, and then the same on the other side. Grab the bottom two, and pull them up to the sides. So once we've done that, then we've got something just a little bit different to do, because we want to make him look like he's got these cute little cheeks. So what we're going to do is look at these orange bands that we put on earlier. So rather than go down into the bands here and pull it over, we're going to go around the outside. So grab the bands. If you can't grab them all, just grab a few, because you can go back and grab them one at a time, and we're going to pull them over. See, I didn't quite manage to grab them all, so I'm going to grab the last one. We looped it round 3 times, so there'll be 3. And pull them over like this, and then just give them a twist. Okay, I'll just turn this round this way and show you again on this side. We're just going to grab the 3 bands. I've only got 2 here. See if I can grab them all. Oops, it's a bit tricky to do sometimes. No. Oh, there we go. Right, so once you've grabbed them, lift them up and over. Just turn that around so you can see. And that's his other little cheek. I think it looks quite cute. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Now, before we carry on looming up, because we haven't got this crossover band here, we need to put that on. So we're going to get the one we made earlier with the 2 ends on, and we need to put one side, hook one side here, and then hook the other side, whoops, over, sorry, excuse my hands, put the other side on here like that. So once you've done that, we need to just separate the 2 eyes, and then lift this band up and just balance it over the top like that. Okay, so the eyes will look even better, and more so once we take the final thing off the loom, they'll all squish up together a bit better. But you can make them tighter by wrapping them around the hook more times if you want them to be tighter, but I think they always look best when they're done about 4 times. Okay, so now we've done that, this will act not only to hold the eyes but also as a crossover band, so we can go back and hook the rest of the cat. So we're going to go in to this band that we've just placed with the eyes on, grab those bottom 2 bands, pull it up and place it over here where the ears are, and then the same on the other side, grab the bottom 2 and loom them up like this. I've got a few different Halloween figures that I'll be showing you guys how to do over the next few days. This is probably the easiest one to do. Sorry, I might not have made it seem so, but it is. Right, so we're gonna go down right to the bottom, grab the bottom 2 bands, pull those up, and actually, I apologise, just put those onto a holding hook a moment. If you've got something like a spare, you know, you get all those random little plastic hooks in loom bands now and again. If any of you have any of those or something, you can, or a pen, anything, just hook them on there a moment. We're just going to grab these and loom these ones up first. So okay, just loom that one up and that one up. I prefer to loom these 2 across last, so we can, you can grab those 2 bands now that I was telling you to grab a bit too early, and just pull them across and we just need to grab these ones. A bit tricky to see when I'm trying to make sure I keep this in the camera for you guys as well. So sorry about this, I'm trying to do it as easily as possible. Just pull those tight and loom those over like that. Okay, so once you've done, this is what it should look like. So we've got the eyes, the cheeks, neck, all the way down. I've just also thought of another thing that I may have done wrong, is this crossover band at the bottom. If you make any more of these, I don't necessarily think that you need this band here, because I'm sure these two diagonal ones act as a crossover. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that you don't necessarily need that one. Right, anyway, but it doesn't matter that you've got it there, you know, it's not going to make any difference to the final product. So yeah, so once you've done all that, we just need to do a band to tie off the top so that all this doesn't come loose. So I'm going to use 2 bands because, as one of my favourite loom charm designers said, it's always good to use 2 because if one snaps, at least you've got a backup. I'm just gonna push my loom band, loom hook, sorry, all the way through all the bands that are on this one, and then tilt it to one side, pull this tight, and then bring the bands back up through the middle, and then round, bring them round. Where are you caught? Not too bad. Bring it round like that, and then lift them both onto the peg like that. Okay, so you've got both the bands like that, and then what you need to do, just to tie it off, it's quite simple. Grab the back 2. See if there's an easier way to show you. These back 2 ones, and we're going to lift them over the top of these ones and over the hook. So just lift them over like that, and then pull, and that will make a little knot and stop your, come off, silly thing, okay, that will stop it from all coming apart at the top, and that's it. So we're going to take it off the loom now. I'm going to work from the bottom and just slowly unhook the bands like this. Okay, just make sure, because sometimes you can get the odd one that gets stuck, so make sure you always check that you've got all the bands off as you're working your way up, because you don't want, if you get one stuck sometimes and you're all the way up here and that band's still stuck down here, you could snap it and it's a disaster. So it's happened to me a few times. Okay, so I'm going to fast forward taking this off the loom, and I'll slow it down when I've done. Okay, so set the loom aside. You can see the finished product. So just give him a bit of a stretch out. Move my camera up a bit now. Yep, so we'll just give him a bit of a stretch out. You can hook this cap band bit down the back if you want. I just tend to push through a couple of the bands and hook it through them like that to tight, you know, keep it from showing, and just give him a little shake around, and there you have your very own Halloween cat. And you know, you could change this up and make him a different colour. He could be a grey cat with white patches, or you know, you could give him pink cheeks, different coloured eyes. You know, this is just really colours that I've come up with for Halloween. You know, for the season and everything to fit in with the theme, blacks and oranges and things. But you know, you could put any colours, you know, that you liked. It's totally up to you. So yeah, I hope that tutorial was easy enough for you to follow. Thank you very much to all those that have watched, and please do share your pictures of if you happen to make the cats. I'd love to see everyone else making them, and making them successfully, which would mean that my tutorial has been successful. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.